can see that both of those did pull down correctly, so I'll go ahead and apply those. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and start channel sales just so that you can see along the top line of when you launch channel sales, it gives you a version number. Okay, and as you can see right here on the tab line, it's now been updated to 0.6108. And what that means is that it's on Service Pack 1 hotfix 8. So that's a good way to tell if you're not sure where your channel sales is applied up to. You can always look at that, or right here at the top it'll tell you. Okay. So the configurator portion is sometimes you'll have both configurator and channel sales, but also for the sightline users, the configurator updates would apply to you. So to start out, I'll show you, if you open Design Studio, you can click on this Help and About by Design Configurator, and this is where you'll be able to tell what version your Design Studio or configurator is hotfix up to. And once again, you'll see this version number, .6107. Right now it's on hotfix 7 of SP1. So this is a good way, if you're not sure, you can't remember what it's been applied up to, you can always go right here and it'll tell you really easy. So what I'll do is I'll open up my hotfix 8 package, and this time I'll click on the standalone. Just extract all the files. And you'll want to run this bdcfix.exe. Once again, there's your license agreement. And it's going to ask you to stop Internet Information Service or your worldwide publishing service. If you click yes, that will go ahead and stop that for you automatically. It's just taking a second to bring up. Okay. And for this components tab, it will automatically locate any components of Design Studio or configurator that you have installed on the machine. So you'll want to run this on any machines. You'll want to run it on the server that you run configurator from, but also any machines that you have Design Studio installed on. You'll want to run the standalone hotfix on there as well. Now you'll also notice that there's a Model Servers tab and an Output Servers tab. These tabs will become darkened, and you'll be able to select them if the hotfix applies to either the model server, output server, or both. Now in the instance that there is an update to the model server or the output server, it will locate any databases that meet those qualifications. And in most instances, you'll want to once again apply the hotfix to your development database. Go ahead and run through, do all your testing, anything that you need. And once you've passed it, you think everything's looking okay, there's no problems with it, then you can go ahead and run it again. And then this time you'll apply it to your production servers. So I will go ahead and run this. And you see that I receive a permission denied error. Now what this means is that I still have Design Studio running. So I want to go back here and close Design Studio. And now I should be able to apply this correctly. And as you can see, hotfix 8 applied correctly, and then we'll close that out. Okay, that's the configurator portion is fairly straightforward. You just need to remember to apply it to all the different servers or machines that you've installed either configurator or Design Studio on. Do I have any questions up until now? The next part that I wanted to cover was just to kind of give you a quick overview of understanding configurator errors, and then I'll also get into how you could retrieve your trace files if the situation arises. So once again, I'll open Design Studio again. And what I'm going to do is just make a modification to our bike rule set. That way it'll create an error that I can show you. So what I'm going to do is just add a screen rule in the middle of this, but I'm not going to actually add any variables to the screen rule. Okay, save the rule set. Now I'll bring up the simulator. Okay, I'm going to run the bike rule set. Okay, and as I was going through, I ran into this error. And what I wanted to point out with this error is each error will have a specific, it's going to have an error number, which doesn't necessarily tell you a whole lot. But what will help you out is right here where it says rule set. This first part, the star BK, will tell you what your rule set ID is. So if you have a lot of create component rules, you may be bouncing around through multiple rule set IDs. You don't know exactly when it breaks on a rule. You're like, okay, I don't know where along my rule set this broke. Well, this error right here, it's going to tell you your rule set ID as well as the rule set number that was creating the error. The next part is your description. Hopefully the description is going to give you a good idea, but it doesn't necessarily always tell you exactly what your issue is. Now for this one, it's pretty straightforward. It says error loading screen options, no records were found. So I click OK, it returns. So what I'm going to do is I say, okay, well I can't remember what that rule was. Well, I'll come down here to System, Errors, and Runtime, and you'll see all the errors that I've received when I've been running through my configuration. And I see, okay, here was the error that I received right here, no records were found. So let me go back into the bike rule set. Okay, and it says BK692-20 is where I had the error. So what I'm going to do is find that error. And you can just do this by clicking Control F when you're in Design Studio. Now for this rule set, okay, and for whatever reason it doesn't seem to want to find that for me. But this is helpful if you have a rule set where, like I said, say you have 1,000 rules in there. You don't want to have to go through and manually try to find where the rule is that's breaking. So if you use the Control F function, then you can go through and search for what rule that it was breaking.